schools. And then I had the amazing fortune to be the writing center director at my dream school, my dream job at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington for 22 years, where Evergreen does all narrative evaluations, so there were no grades. So to be able to work at a school where students weren't coming in and saying, what are you working on today? Or, what's your aspiration? What do you, and say, oh, I need to get an A on this paper. There was none of that ever. It was all about process, process, process. And, but I'd be really very curious to hear more about what your experience was at Kenyon, given, that I mean, it is such a literary college, obviously. Um,
Here's Mildred.
there's
Yay.
Mildred, yes, beautiful.
Well, Sandy, that decides me. I was not sure if I should read this one poem, but I'm totally going to read it now.
Okay,
Welcome,
okay.
Mildred.
I prompted and I didn't even know.
Yay. Please unmute Mildred and say hi. We're doing our hellos and our sound checks. We're so glad you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be with you.
Oh,
Thank you for
beautiful.
inviting me.
Please say your last name for Sandy so she can hear it in your voice.
Barya.
Barya,
Yes.
got it. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited about this quartet. You guys are just gonna
Yeah,
shine,
nice
shine,
job, Kim,
shine.
always.
Thank you.
Everyone is here. Everyone has good sound and good video and good
Everyone.
lighting. And we have about 5 minutes before a program start time.
Here comes my
You each,
prof. Here comes my prof, Sue Standing.
yes, wonderful. Yay, Sue. We will go in the order that you were listed on the poster. Mona first,
Okay.
then Jeanne, then Mildred, then Marjorie. And you have 15 minutes. Sandy will introduce you. I will share your bios as she reads them, the formal bios in the chat. And then tomorrow I will also, and I'll link to more information about you and your work and purchase points for the collections. And then I'll reiterate all of that again and amplify that on Facebook tomorrow as sort of another round of applause for you. And hopefully that will help boost some sales and interest in your work. And if you're just arriving, you're all very welcome. This is our new book showcase for March, and it is going to be fabulous. I will let Sandy continue to chat with you guys until she's ready to start the program in probably about 3.5 minutes. Everybody have a wonderful time.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim, and thank you, of course, to our four readers today. We're so looking forward to, last week, as you know, because a number of you were here in the room and read, we had our International Women's Day celebration on Cultivating Voices. And we basically, normally it's our second Sunday, but because I was in Baltimore and running around at this conference, and it was International Women's Day, we decided to swap it out and have the new book showcase this third Sunday. So we've really been looking with great anticipation because we've had to wait a week longer than we normally do in the month to have our new book showcase for the month. And yeah, so excited for our four readers today, and such a range of work that you're going to be able to hear today. And I'll wait to share that with you all when we do the bios and everything, but you are just in for a wonderful, wonderful new book showcase today. These four phenomenal poets bring just their own lane of poetry, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see, as I like to say, how the constellation plays itself out today, how they are in conversation with each other, and as you all know, this is never rehearsed. They don't know what the other person is reading, but I am
This
primed.
magically happens.
Right, I am primed for a special alchemy to emerge today. Um,
And the room is filling up,
it
Sandy.
sure
And
is. It sure is.
we're
Good to see
almost to
everybody.
showtime. Everybody have a wonderful reading.
Thank you. Thank you. That's Kim, everybody. We can't do the program without her. We can't do it without We can't do it without Don and Jude Mars just joined us. I love it when we've got both Judes in the room. I love it when we have both Judes in the room. And last week we got to hear poems from both Judes in our open mic. That was so special. So we're just about a minute or so away from starting. It's not TV, folks. We don't have to start, but we usually are pretty good about that. And so this might be a good moment for everybody in the room that's not one of our readers to kind of mute yourselves, get yourself settled in for this beautiful program that we're about to experience together. I think the togetherness is the optimal thing here. When we come together to hear poetry, it is a special kind of experience, and I'm very, very grateful to have all of you with us today. And just because we are only literally just about a minute, like less than a minute now to go, don't be concerned if we keep letting people in. That's what will happen. People, come in they come in at the top of the hour or a little after. It's okay, and we're taking care of that to make sure there's no interruptions usually. And if anything, there it is. Well, that is my cue, everyone. Well, good afternoon, good evening. It's actually the future somewhere else. I know there's a person for whom it's Monday here. You are joining us for Cultivating Voices live poetry. And today it is our new books showcase. And I am joining you live today from Cambridge, Massachusetts. Gonna get a little choked up. I'm at the home of my college poetry professor who is graciously, I know it's so amazing, has opened her home to me so that we can go see Tracy K. Smith read tomorrow night in Cambridge. So we're looking forward to that. But before that, we're looking forward to today's new book showcase. And if you are a devotee of Cultivating Voices live poetry, you might be saying, but Sandy, the new book showcase is usually the second Sunday of the month. Well, this month, because a number of us were at the big writers conference, actually the largest writers conference in North America this past weekend, and because it was also International Women's Day on Sunday, the 8th, we decided through Kim's exceptional good thinking to have an open mic last week on International Women's Day where we got to hear amazing poetry from women, non-binary writers. Like, we heard the gamut, incredible poems. And I want to thank all of you for coming out for that last week, which meant now that I'm a little more settled from AWP, we decided to move the new book showcase a week ahead, third week of March. Just adds a little to the March madness. It's all good. We're talking about madness and poetry, it's all good. Not other kinds of madness, but poetry madness, beautiful thing. So we switched up the schedule and we're here today for our new books showcase. And just with I am so looking forward to this quartet. Mona Zamfirescu, J.Griggs, Mildred K. Barya, and Marjorie Maddox. Oh, just settle in, get ready for an incredible array of poetry. I am so eager to see how this constellation, this alchemy comes together, as I was saying earlier in the chat. Well, before I introduce Mona, a little housekeeping things here for Cultivating Voices live poetry. I want to remind, of course, I want to welcome all of you who are here with us live in Zoom. I want to welcome all of you who are watching live either on Facebook or on YouTube. And of course, as I always like to give that shout out to the future and say hello and thank you for watching to those of you who watch us when on our the recorded version. And we would not have this incredible set of recordings, this extraordinary archive of almost all of the almost 7 years. The end of this month, it'll be 7 years that we'll be hitting our 7th year on Cultivating Voices live poetry without Don Krieger curating our recordings for us, for those of you watching on the recording. So thank you for that. And a reminder that the chat is live here in Zoom. Please use it with extraordinary care and kindness, and leave leave your notes of encouragement and amazement for our readers today, as well as a reminder that you'll see in the chat as well links to our Four Poets presses with their current collection that they'll be reading from today. Some of them might be reading a little bit of new work too, mix it up a little. I don't know. We don't know the set ahead of time, but you'll see links for the chat as well as their bio. Please do, depending on your resources, buy 1, 2, 3, 4, all of the poets' books to support the poets and their presses, as well as, I always like to say, I think poetry is a wonderful, wonderful gift to give anyone, a friend, a future friend. I mean, I think poetry is a very sexy gift to give someone. I'm just going to say it. So, if you're trying to, you know, meet someone, give them a book of poetry. You're going to have some good choices today. So again, even if it's not for you, poetry makes a great gift. Again, your resources, depending on those resources, please do buy generously. And with that, talking about generosity, our first reader today is Mona Zamfirescu, and I want to just say we're going to be hearing today from her debut chapbook collection, and it's beautiful because I've seen it, because she was gracious and gave me a copy at AWP, where she was one of our 5 readers at our AWP offsite on purpose reading. We're at this place called Westminster Hall. And at Westminster Hall, it's the burial grounds of Edgar Allan Poe. We had an organist playing like the pipes all throughout the evening. It was extraordinary. And I'm so, so happy to be able to hear Mona read live in person, and then to follow up with you being live here in Zoom in the New Book Showcase. So special. I'm so grateful. And we've talked, of course, Mona. I remember so fondly the very first time you came onto the program. So you cannot imagine, well, I think you can, my absolute joy of being with you through this journey to now you've been in graduate school, your first publication, book publication, and to have you now with us for your new book showcase. It's just very special for us to be able to hold this space with you. And so again, thank you so much. And with that, let me share Mona's more formal biography. Mona Zamfirescu, a writer, visual artist, and photographer, is a professor of mathematics at Baruch College, which is part of the City University of New York system. Her poetry has been published in various anthologies and has been showcased at the New York Poetry Festival as well, which also was where I met you for the first time in person. That was quite fun on Governor's Island. And I'm thinking of going this year. So, little interruption, folks. If any of you are thinking of going to the New York Poetry Festival this summer, let's talk. Mona is a multiple Pushcart Prize nominee, and she's been working at this professionally for a relatively short span of time, and it's really wonderful to see people paying attention to your wonderful poetry. She holds a PhD in statistics from Columbia University, and currently she is studying for her MFA in creative writing poetry at the City College of New York, also part of the CUNY system. Her debut collection, as I mentioned, Who Looks Outside Dreams, was published by Poetry Global Network in 2025, fall of 2025. And it's just been wonderful to, as I said, be on this journey with you, Mona. And now, let's take it away.
Thank you so much, Sandy. I really am honored to be here and so very grateful. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am to have stumbled upon Cultivating Voices no longer than 3 years ago, maybe, and continued on this journey, and how much I appreciate your support and your encouragement always. So thank you so much. So thank you so very much, Sandy. So I'll just go straight to it. This is my book. I was gonna be spontaneous today, but I ended up marking the book anyway. So just a minute ago. So I will just get on by saying that the title of this book, Who Looks Outside Dreams, comes from a quote by Carl Jung. The full quote is in the book, and it says, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." So this is the full quote by Carl Jung, and this is has inspired my entire collection. I won't go into the story of how that happened, but I'll just begin to read. First poem is called First Farewell, is dedicated to my older son, who at the time was preparing to leave for his first deployment as a National Guard. First farewell. Next to me, my bag. On the other seat, nothing. On the seats next to those, no one. Just as I think I cannot do this, I hear myself. I can. I can. In the convention hall, the churning, a green mass of camouflage fatigues, a green body with many faces. I see him in all. On stage, public officials shake hands, congratulate themselves and all for this fine gathering of soldiers. Best train the country has to offer. The band plays a march, or is it a lament? I can't quite tell. We stand for the anthem. Wet on the heart, my right hand. Here, here, you who are here, encouragements, acknowledgements, the colors of the state. The senators speak with pride, with words I can barely hear. The benediction. In the convention hall, the churning. Here, here, we who are here. Army siblings, parents, grandparents, partners, babies, kids of all ages. Army cousins, their friends and their brothers. Here, here, the waft of popcorn, pretzels, and fries. Here, human, making tracks through the valley of the shadow. Let us pray. On my way home, I step on the gas and I do not see. I enter the other way on a one-way street. Next poem, which is a poem I also shared at AWP in Baltimore. This is called I Could Almost Be Happy and is dedicated to people who have perished and were wounded at the school shooting at a Georgia high school in 2024. It is written in 4 parts and 9 stanzas to commemorate the 4 killed and 9 wounded. I could almost be happy for September mornings, clear skies, and kids like mine on their way to school. On such a day, the year of the fall, in the city of concrete sustenance, a son was born of my American dream. The ecology of glass and steel still foreign to us. I was almost happy, months before rubble hit the ground. Years later, I find my words are broken between my native and my adopted tongue, the way the sky falls in morning. Nothing will happen here is hope, yet every day, here or somewhere, another happening breaks us open. My son would say from a desert afar. No longer a kid, he will return one day, a man. Part 2. On my way to school in Bryant Park, in the sun, another year's September, I could almost be happy. An old man sweeps the alleys, leaves and blossoms and passers-by. He greets the morning like peaches and young magnolias would light a face. Surely he knows loss. His eyes show it. Chocolate left out in the sun, soft, yet happy, happy. An old man not clutching at anything. Look, look, he says, flowering like Spanish moss on live oaks. Show up. It's easy. Give what you can give. 3. Today, under the same sun, a different kind of heat. In a world absurd, there is certainty in numbers. Teachers like me, kids like mine, bullets. Who would not step in front of one? 4. When all is done and dusted, Mom, I will enlist again. There is certainty in numbers. I keep count, my breath in and out, my feet slow one after the other. I feel heat against my skin. I forget about happiness. I show up. I count the heat. The next poem is a glossa. If you know New York, you know about the commuter's lament hanging from the rafters at Port Authority as you go through the tunnels to reach the subways. It reads like this, one after the other. Overslept, so tired, if late, get fired. Why bother? Why the pain? Just go home, do it again. I see this all the time as I go to work. And as I was heading towards the graduation ceremony, I was seeing the same thing. So this is a graduation day glossa. Hope is strategy. Monarch butterflies tucked in celebration among chrysanthemums on a graduation cap. A baby's fingers grasping a shoulder, strong and wound up ebony curls, a look across the aisle that says, at last, here I am. Who has not said at least once, overslept, so tired? Hope is revolutionary. A man with no legs chanting thank you to no one. A passageway and no one behind you except others on their way to work. An ex-Marine's most eloquent speech welcoming alumni into this world. Hope, he says, is showing up. Who has not said at least once, if late, get fired, why bother? Hope is resourcefulness. Is there someone there? Is someone there to see the look in the eyes of the man with 10 bags and no place to sleep? In the end train, the woman who sells churros, the lots for less mom and dads, the ocean who refuses no river. Who has not said at least once, why the pain? Hope is strength, the confetti that fits no molds, 104 languages spoken in plenitude of color, the moms and dads. What has changed over time? I was asked. Not this, I answered. Not this. Hope is everyone who has said at least once, just go home, do it again. My favorite poem from the collection is one of my experiments with form. This is an ode. I was dreading writing an ode for my homework, but I picked the most humble of subjects. So I picked Ode to Moss to write about moss. In the beginning, there was you. From algae to land, you 450 million years without roots. Your filaments able on hard rock, in mineral soil, disturbed soil. You who inhabits the logs, the burned stump, the bogs. On cliff sips, waterfall sprays, you unassuming. Cosmopolitan in cracks between paving stones, slippery on damp Singapore streets, on roofs, a garden weed in Vancouver. You, the carbon-soaking sidewalk moss, water-soaking the small light of shade. You, holy aquatic citizen of the marshes, you creep in slow-moving waterways to become more of yourself. You travel across continents with the ease of the unseen, soft and smooth. Your velvet green measures the air. You survive desiccation, extremes. You return to life like a sponge that sucks up moisture from thin air, like us, an immigrant. An immigrant. You epiphyte on cedars and oaks, green balm, you antiseptic swathe, you feel the bandages of the wounded, the long history of devastation. Here, the luxuriant green growth points to the boreal tundra. You warm reindeer blood on its Arctic journey. The southern living advises, questions. Is this hurting the grass, this primitive? Will it disturb the civilized manicured perfection? How to get rid of moss in your lawn? After long winters, I come into the woods to touch the downed trees. I find you here, holding the soil with your fragmented colonies. I find you, mothering the understory. We, immigrants here, we meet. The next poem, it's called The End of Days Does Not Come with a Bang. Like the grass that comes back every year, though everything is stacked against it. Slow, deliberate, 5 women move air. Their eyes are fixed on a distant point. They are here. Spacious, without words. Towering over them sky rises and bare ginkgo trees, which came, as we all have, from somewhere. In Madison Square Park, traces of green line the alleys. Winters, the Tai Chi women practice every day in the drained fountain where all paths meet, a few feet lower than the rest of us, citizens of coffee and news. We slalom past each other, people and things. Garbage pickup, the food trucks at every corner. Yes, Now there is spring to talk about, new hyacinths and daffodils, fresh, alive, and people, in and out of troubles they can't name. That's how you know we are all going somewhere no one else can. We, migrants in rage, despair in silence. On my way, I remember the old country, fear, the only safe tongue, the wooden tongue. We went about our days, ghosts on our way to work, as if we were living. I too crowd the streets, the elevators. Like many, I feel their doors close an airtight lock on this collective coffin. Up to my own private afterlife, I make room for this woman, or she makes room for me, neither of us young. Her hands are elegant, swift like new grass, green yarn coiled on her fingers. The crochet hook stitches in and out the pulse of the day. Her eyes fixed on her work, counting. I want to tell her she's beautiful. The elevator ride is long. We're quiet. It's 9 a.m. somewhere. Imperceptibly, we go on living. Thank you, everyone.
Just beautiful, the range of the poems in your collection. And the collection is Who Looks Outside Dreams. And that last line, imperceptibly we go on living. What I love about that line is that its antithesis is that perceptibly we go on living. And I think the perception in your poems is what truly stands out. The just the things that you see and how you see it and how you gather those images and those insights for us is just they're beautiful poems, really unparalleled. And we've been really fortunate, as I said, to be here on the journey, from you coming and reading poems for probably some of the first times and some of the first open mics, all the way to publications, graduate school, and now publishing this first collection. And it's very satisfying for someone like me to be the witness of that, because it speaks to how what's possible when we kind of stay with our dream. And we've been able to be with you on this path, and also see that path with others take that too. For instance, we've seen people come on with, for instance, Marjorie's a good example of this. We've come on with a first book in a new book showcase, and been able to showcase multiple books, and to be on that kind of journey. It's a different journey with every poet. And I'm just really just so thrilled to be here at this particular juncture with you, knowing there's also more to come with all your artistry. So congratulations on this collection. And we look forward, of course, to hearing more poems in the upcoming months, years. And thank you so much, Mona. And again, thank you for representing us so well in Baltimore as well. And we'll
Thank
see
you
you.
so much, Sandy. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Well, the connections today, when we were in the kind of Zoom green room ahead of time, are kind of boundless today. And I love when there's a little like neural network of synchronicities happening behind the scene. And one that kind of warms my heart a little bit is that Jeanne Griggs well has a very special connection with Kim in that they've known each other for a very long time. As Kim pointed out to me, even longer than I've known you, Sandy, and which is a long time also. And and my connection is that both of us have had careers as writing center directors, and for me, that's a special kind of human that does that work. So I immediately felt a connection um, with Jeanne, and I love it when I think there should be Kim. Write this down, maybe we can do a feature someday on poet, writing center director people. Just a writing center director reading. Because there's a number of folks who are not poetry professors, but who have been writing center directors publishing poetry. That would be very, very interesting. So, just a little aside. So, I'm really so excited to have Jeanne on the program today with us, and really looking forward to hearing her poems, of course, and now her more formal biography. Jeanne Griggs is a reader, writer, traveler, and violinist. We haven't even talked about that yet. I hope that's going to come up in the reading in some manifestation. I'm sure it will. She directed the Writing Center at Kenyon College from 1991 to 2022, and her poems have appeared in the Mid-Atlantic Review, Lothlorien Poetry Journal, The Inquisitive Eater, One Art, a journal of poetry, Thimble Literary Review, Calliope, Meet for Tea, fabulous journal out in Western Massachusetts, and Autumn Sky Poetry Daily. Kim, you've been talking to me about Autumn Sky. There you go. Jeanne is the author of Postcard Poems from 2021 and After Kenyon 2025, both from Broadstone Books, which we know the press very well here at Cultivating Voices Live Poetry. She reviews fiction and poetry at her blog site, Necromancy Never Pays. Well, they say poetry never pays either. However, we know that money is not the only payment way to be paid. And if that is true, which I believe it is, we are extremely, extremely wealthy people here on Cultivating Voices Live Poetry with all the poetry that um we get to hear. So welcome, Jeanne. I'm so excited to hear the poems today.
Thank you so much for having me. I would like to point out this is the front of my book, After Kenyon. I worked at Kenyon College as the writing center director and taught some classes and did a little your hands in everything at a small college. So it's about being at a small college. But one of the blurbs on the back is from Diane LeBlanc, who is the director of the writing program at St. Olaf College. So there's a start with the writing center director poet. So thank you for having me today. I am hoping that this collection appeals to anyone who's ever been on a college campus, as a student, as any kind of professor or administrator, whatever. The book is set up as a tour of the campus. So it starts at one end, and it actually starts with a poem I'm going to read to you called Middle Path, because there's a path that winds through the whole campus. But I start at one end and then I go to the other end of campus. So it's a tour of Kenyon. And that the title After Kenyon is not only because I retired from Kenyon, so it's after I've been at Kenyon, but it's also because it's full of after poems. I'm going to read you one, so I'll talk about that when I get to it. But I feel like as I've gotten older, I've become more like Mrs. Who from Madeline L'Ingle's A Wrinkle in Time. Everything I want to say, I want to quote someone else to help me say it. So I have an haha, to the book about after poems. So I will read you one of those, but I'm going to start with Middle Path. So this is about Middle Path at Kenyon College. I didn't know which ones were nasturtiums until after the warm September afternoon I spotted their round leaves with orange and yellow flowers on the side of Middle Path, chosen by a gardener as part of a plan, I imagine, as I think of the free seeds picked up on a trip to the Lowe's near my house on one spring day when there was plenty to forget, and I tossed those seeds into the overgrowth of my garden, thinking only of the times I had enjoyed nasturtium blossoms in fancy salads, not expecting much, busy with the end of a semester, never looking for the other end, like on this path, always going forth and never back, never idling like summertime, but looking forward to harvest or the sowing of seeds, the nurture in between consuming all the hours of the seasons we may have noticed while not looking around to find out what comprises this incidental beauty, the space in the middle of our hurry. But when I looked up moon-shaped leaves and the colors of nasturtium, it turned out they were part of what I already knew, the part I noticed and remembered long enough to find out more, to connect with something from other walks of life, to look up. So I'm going to read you. A lot of these poems are titled after the building that I was thinking about in terms of the tour, but this one's about a tree we call the upside down tree. I think every campus has a tree everybody loves. This is Kenyon's. Upside down tree. From inside its green shade, you could feel hidden, climbing over the low branches amid the litter of beer cans, condoms, and candy wrappers left by the party before yours. After Sunday morning services at the Church of the Holy Spirit, children would dart inside, parents following, using gloves or leaves to pick up a few of the condoms and cans, pulling the occasional arm into better balance on a branch, looking away as the church close darkened with bits of bark and the unidentified stickiness of the night before. How many eyes have been hidden inside this tree when you passed by? But who would look out rather than remain riveted to the scene within, the intimacy of the underneath? What grown-ups like Sarah and Marion drive for hours to revisit, bringing their own offspring as an excuse to run for the upside down first thing as they leap from their cars. This tree, the first stop on a tour of memory, of those shorter, briefer days when you could hide beneath leaves to experience confession, indulgence, falling, the sharp green shoots of secrets. Oh, I'm going to read you one called Gunned Gallery, which is a building at Kenyon. And it was it was built by the architect Graham Gund, who built a lot of buildings on campus, and it has wooden slats in front of glass. So it's a very distinctive look on campus. Gund Gallery. September. Joan Slanzewski gave a reading of her new book, The Highest Frontier, about Kenyon in space, and I got a call from my parents telling me my father was dying. It was the fall the president decided to throw a formal party, and I didn't have a thing to wear until my father called to say he wanted to buy me a dress. We went to visit and brought him a photo of me in the dress on our front step with a pumpkin and a wreath of autumn leaves, ready for the reception at the Gund Gallery, where the college photographer captured us in front of a painting in the upstairs gallery, looking down at the lobby, where faculty gathered for wine and cheese reception on Thursdays. Small talk, shop talk, a corps of devotees. Students had an art show there, and I went to read their personal statements, the ones I'd helped them work on writing. I don't remember the art now, but what they tried to say lingers, like the fall when I taught in a classroom in Gund Gallery, where the chairs had desks attached and the two behind a table at the front had arms too narrow for my hips, but I wedged myself in every day, and once in the seats downstairs at the Community Foundation Theater for an event that included the literary critic Stanley Fish, who sat next to me, and I told him I was teaching reader response criticism, which he thought up but as an old man disavowed, saying it was only good for undergraduates, like the ones in my class who were reluctant to tell their own stories, used to facing out, staying up, working long hours at a place where fall is the best season, when the dark starts to take over and we let go of everything farther away in our lives, focusing in, visible only by the light from the front of Gund Gallery, shining through wooden stripes onto the path, students scuffing away through leaves, older people shuffling off quietly as the light fades. Well, now I'm going to read you the poem that is in some ways the centerpiece of this collection. Um, it's called Ransom Hall, which is it was and to some extent is one of the administration buildings at Kenyon. And I had the audacity to write it after James Wright's famous poem entitled Lying in a Hammock at William Duffy's Farm in Pine Island, Minnesota. So here's my after poem to James Wright. We walk by Ransom Hall most mornings without noting the bronze crows overhead, students following one another into the distances. But when it's time to come in and face the music or outline a new endeavor, we tuck in our shirts and worry our mistakes will show, although usually they don't. No one takes that much notice. One spring, I quit my other part-time jobs and invited outside examiners to confirm for the president and provost all that needed to be done. I remember sitting on the wide front steps of Ransom Hall, waiting, reading Lau's Anti-Lamentation, and realizing that I had traveled that far on the back of every mistake, as many have, entering the double doors, seeing the dark paneled stairway to the offices of president and provost shadowed behind reception, with admissions offices on the ground floor, parents and teenagers looking curiously around, trying to imagine themselves in this place as those already in pass by outside without a look, faces full of new ideas, digesting them as they head for Pierce. This building is where so many hopes are born and a few go to die. Regret nothing, I read, on that morning when the possibility of the rest of my life was undecided. Now I lean back on these steps as evening darkens, thinking of that spring, before that particular president and provost offered more part-time, asking if I thought I was up to it. I said yes, but some of my heart had gone out of it, maybe during rounds of meetings, like when I arrived to meet a provost and he asked jovially, "How's the boss?" And not knowing who he meant, I just stared at him for a moment, which turned out better than if I'd tried any rejoinder. People come and go here. There were two provosts after him, before the morning when another found me, again on those same steps, still loitering after my efforts to regret nothing had come to nothing, free to linger outside this building where we spread ideas as on a table for someone else to pick through. I glance up to see a vulture glide over, looking for home. I have wasted my life. As a note, I've always read the last line of James Wright's poem as ironic. So, O'Connor House basement, this is the one that's most about the writing center. The basement of O'Connor House was where discarded furniture was kept, desks and chairs, tables and bookcases, the odd mini fridge and side table, and this is where I went to furnish the writing center. Wooden tables, lamps, a bookcase for the books I brought from home, and the folders I made to help the students who worked there find a way through the plethora of different ideas about how to teach writing. How to punctuate it, how to polish it up for each separate member of the faculty, just how he likes it. No split infinitives for her, a binder of rules for him, everyone attentive to their needs, and my job to be attentive to everyone else's. Providing training and pads of paper, pens and chocolate kisses, brought from the Kroger near my house, carried in slowly during the day, during those months when it hurt to walk, for the students to find new each evening, sign-up sheets taped to the door, a notebook with spaces for the names of everyone who worked that night and everyone who came in, and for what kind of help and with what kind of question, for me to total up at the end of the year and show to the ass provost in an attempt to keep the service funded. What it came down to in the end was this basement, everything for the taking, nothing new, reused and repurposed until I got worn out. Ass provost, of course, is my abbreviation of associate provost. Had to read it that way. Well, this is my last one. This is about the place where, if you ever came to Kenyon to read poetry, you would read it. It's about Finn House. Once I arranged a reading in the Cheever room of Finn House for a friend who had a new book out, and he said he was thrilled to be reading in the historic home of the Kenyon Review. It is a fine old house with decorative gingerbread along the roofline, but the review has not been based there for long. When I came to Kenyon, it was a private house where several deans of students lived with their families, right beside the Kenyon Inn, where I once met a person I'd corresponded with for years by knocking at her room and announcing myself as an internet predator, which is totally what her daughter, visiting the college, thought I would be, picking her up in a minivan and taking her to my house, away from campus and the loud jollity of Finn House next door. Students and faculty spilling out onto the frozen lawn after a reading, separating into ever smaller groups, disappearing into the quiet of Gambier after dark, when everyone is inside reading or writing or hosting an author dinner at the Kenyon Inn, where I once met my graduate advisor before his talk on an abstruse academic topic, slave narratives and satire, and I was in such a flurry, I put my raincoat on inside out, arriving with the flannel lining showing, far from the polished appearance I'd hoped to present, but full of enthusiasm, shared by the others at the table. We happy few, who had been invited to a dinner at the Kenyon Inn, where I took my friend after his reading, and we talked about books and baseball, and then he drove home to Brooklyn because the night at the inn was beyond his means. At one time or another, we're all standing outside of the Cheever room, looking in at the people there to read and to listen, wishing for friends who are true and also good writers, watching a spider darkly visible at the edge of the ceiling, swaying at each breath of the reader's voice. Now, those are my poems. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I love I love the idea for this book. This is brilliant. I just really I mean, I'm also getting ready. It's very interesting today because as I said, I'm literally in my college professor's home, my college poetry professor's home, and I'm getting ready to celebrate my 40th college reunion in May. And I've got some poems that are set I went to Wheaton College in Massachusetts. So also a small liberal arts college, then for women, now it's co-ed. But it never occurred to organize along the buildings because, of course, this is a great idea for people to think about. Like, let a container of buildings unleash their stories. Incredible organizing principle for, and of course, just, academia is just, and so many poets are on a college campus, and the stories are there for the taking, aren't they? Like every single day. And of course, as we know in a writing center, we're really encouraging those stories to come out with our students. Yeah, I'm just astounded. Like, this is such a great idea. You're really onto something, actually. Like, there could be one for every college in the United States, a book of poetry about about things that have gone on. In fact, every college should have their writing center director create an anthology of poetry about that college. Because and also the students are writing poems while they're at college about being on that campus too. So like I just see it can go on and on and on, and there's an instant market for the alumni of that college. Wow, it's genius. Wow, it's so good. All right, we're going to talk later about all of this. Thank you so much, Jeanne. Great job, Kim, man. Wow. Love it. Amazing. Fabulous. The collection is after Kenyon. And if you all are not inspired to run away from this reading and start writing your own poems about what it's like to be on a college campus, you know, the various things that can happen and not happen. I don't know what else we could do. Wow, what an inspiration of an idea. fabulous. Thank you so much, Jean. Oh, amazing. Well, you know, there's a reason that Kim Ports Parsons puts together readings. Um, and for Cultivating Voices live poetry, it's not always my mania that puts um, and and um, and this is a constellation created by Kim. I love this. And I have just met Mildred. I think I've been in a Zoom room with you before, but it's been a long time. I believe I was. But the immediate thing when you came into the room today, Mildred has a beautiful lyricism built in already within her voice that's going to come through in her poems instantly. Instantly. And so I'm really kind of sitting on the edge of my seat for these poems from your from your collection that you're going to read from today. And very excited to showcase your wonderful work. And now let me share a little bit with our dear audience a little more about your journey through poetry. Well, Mildred K. Barya is a North Carolina based writer and scholar. She teaches creative writing workshops globally and is the author of 5 full length poetry collections, most recently, Hands in Clay from Serving House Books, which was listed among Brittle Paper Notables African Books of 2025. The Animals of My Earth School from Terrapin Books was also listed among Brittle Paper Notable African Books of 2023 and received honorable mention in the 2024 Eric Hoffer Poetry Award, an award that probably everybody in this room is familiar with. If not, you are now. Barya is a recipient of the 2025 Jacobs Jones African American Literary Prize and the 2020 Linda Flowers Literary Award. Would you please give a very warm welcome to Mildred K. Barya?
Thank you so much, Sandy, for that warm introduction. And I'm so delighted to share this space with Mona, Jean, and Marjorie, and all of you who have gathered here to be with us. And I imagine that there are many places where you could be, but you chose to be here, and that just makes me happy. And also, the poem I'm going to share with you that I will begin with, I've realized we just celebrated Women's Day, and so it has a lot to do with women and cycles and menses and that kind of wonderful stuff. And this is the book I'll be reading from. I'm not going to try and mix things up. I'll just stay with Hands in Clay. But a little bit about the structure is that I use the structure of life, the life cycle. So the first part is all poems that have to do with life, and the middle section has a lot to do with death. And the third part, which is the final, has a lot to do with rebirth. But in the writing of the poems, I noticed that, things are not that neatly cut. While I was writing the life section, there were other things that one may not call life. And also, in terms in the death section, a lot of the poems have to do with my father who transitioned in 2016. And I noticed that I was so happy writing those poems about him because suddenly I was in conversation with his spirit. And then I started getting these dreams where he would speak. And so I felt like writing that section brought out a lot of the gold. But then I would remember that he's not actually here in person. And so I would slip into the gray days. So the line gold and gray runs across the collection. But now I'll begin with cycles. Back home, when a girl got her period, folks would say she's seen the moon. The way it was whispered among the elders made me think it was a marvelous thing, numinous. It gave me a grand vision of womanhood, and I couldn't wait to meet my older self that would spot the becoming moon and say, "Welcome. Divinity is your essence." Draw back the curtains of my bedroom, unlatch the window, and exit, girl child. Open the door with a grin, let the woman swagger. I waited for the moon with anxious joy. I should have been warned to be careful. When my cycle came, I hated it. Among the beetles, lizards, and snakes, blood is expelled from the mouth, nostrils, and eyes, mostly for defense or a hemorrhage. Imagine surprising a lizard or snake in the woods and sensing a threat. Eyes swell and flash faster than you can recall there will be blood. In my village, old men say if you drink the blood of a horned toad, you become horny. I wish to tell them it takes just a kiss, a touch, a wave of desire, and sometimes waking up at 3 a.m., taking matters into one's own hands. Ever wonder why in the Western tradition, menses evoke the curse, demeaning and acknowledging simultaneously a power men seek to undermine with negative conjurations? It is said of virgin-obsessed cultures that girls who are no longer virgins will pack a vial of lizard or lamb blood to sprinkle between their thighs and sheets on their wedding night. They'll scream and bite during lovemaking, writhe and thrash, and yes, they'll squirt blood. The new husbands will comfort them in their strong, bear-like arms and brag about being the first to their friends. It's a win-win in the cloudy ring of predator-prey camouflage, doubling tricksters cloaked in mystery, whose patron saint and queen of subversion, biblical Rachel, stole her father's gods and hid them in her saddlebag, then threatened with blood and refused to dismount. Let not my Lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the way of women is upon me. The spell cast, the moon smiling, Laban's idols turned to adopt a new Lord and home. And the next poem I will share with you, the next two poems are going to be about my father, and this is called The Diminishing Years. My father's face lingers and swallows my childhood in a precious smile. Thoughtful kindnesses, the memories of diminishing years, gray and gold, a ride on his bicycle, permission to put on his boots, although they are too big for me to walk in. My father's voice whispers, "This is how you roast squash. You wrap it in tin foil and bury it beneath hot ash. Go about your business, and when you're done, retrieve the squash from the warm embers. And this is how to iron a man's pants. He puts hot charcoal in the flat iron, presses, folds, and unfolds. I am only 7, but I watch for hours, tasks I am sure to mess up as I grow. The gray and gold, gold and gray merge, until all there is the grave. My father's face swallows my present. More alive in death, I remember him. In life, I do not forget him. He grows on me daily, perforates my skin with his presence so I can speak and answer that I am present too. Return to the love that never left, heals the overstretched self. The space between is nothing, no space, a gap so artificial and yet real. To have imagined I had lost you is now inconceivable. This next one was inspired by a dream, as you will be able to tell. The title is Daddy's Happy Drinking Beer in Heaven with Uncle Malcolm. My father and Uncle Malcolm are sitting on a rustic bench drinking beer on St. Patrick's Day. They look youthful, handsome, spirited, even dimpled. Polygods, they are the age unknown to me, except in photographs. Their laughter pulls me out of the adjoining room, but a geyser of steam spurts from the walls and heat intercepts me from crossing the misted realm. I stand in the doorway and chat. In my left hand, I notice I too have a beer. I take a sip but keep the hand hidden. I'm a teenager. Would they mind? Later, when I wave goodbye, they see the bottle but make no fuss. Stepping outside, the Malachite Mountains proclaim, alive is great, but dead is mineral, where I dare not linger. And since we've seen how the people in heaven are doing, I think I'll read a poem about the people who are in hell so that we see how they're faring. And this one is called Austerity. In hell, people drink black coffee day and night. There are no chairs. Souls lean against shiny granite countertops, holding thin paper cups instantly refilled. They talk and mingle, their voices hoarse, stuffing the room with coffee-stained breath. A joker reads their cups and announces they are in hell. No one believes him. Vendors arrive selling used clothing. Excitement builds as people try them on, but buy nothing. They have no money. This happens every Friday. It's the only way they get to see color. The tools we carry. This happens at Wash Park. Through the sextant's eye, the sun is lime green and sits on top of the lake. Every 4 seconds it moves while we are still on the bench. Folks come and go, geese poop, eat, and squirrels pick nuts off the trees. We are here and there in space and time, measuring distance, speed, and altitudes. The man with a red hat sitting next to me says, it's not the sun that moves, but Earth rotating. Since we are on Earth, we don't see it circling the sun. We hold the reversed image of the sun in motion, and that's the magic of science. What is and what appears to be a source and the apparent source. I begin to wonder if one could fall asleep and wake up as someone else. A simulacrum orbiting without breaking sequence, yet never forgetting what is or isn't. There's the sun and sunlight, light and the light source all at once. I am a friend of fractals, refraining from charting the course, bearing in mind refraction. When we say the sun moves from east to west, where are we in motion, finding center and decentering? I have 2 more. And right now I'm going to read the first poem in the book, and it's called My House. To weave risk and beauty in a fragile balance, my house firm and delicate as a spider's home. I wish for myself a house made of webs, each thread mirroring a path I have taken and others I am yet to take. Each spin leading to a room with many windows to see monarch butterflies and guest wings for my family and friends. I pray that my house will be open and airy, indestructible in its elegance and lightness. I do not wish for permanence, but what's durably suspended in eternal presence, the way pollen grasps bodies of strangers on their walks. The spider at work hangs precariously over a cliff, water trickling beneath, as though unaware of the danger, perhaps even inspired by it, invisible to travelers jumping rocks on their way to the meadows. And I'm going to read the last poem, which is also the title poem, and it's called Hands in Clay. Again, thank you so much for being with us. Hands in Clay. My father grows lovelier each day I do not see him. Each year I cannot see him. My mind activates and remakes him in vivid and memorable palettes capable of feeding new lenses. All the best parts stand out. The not so great fall off like clods of clay. Grayish remains to be cleansed by living organisms, refined by cremating fire. Like decomposition, the mind is excellent at repurposing and pairing to bones and ash while extracting the essence, singing golden. Searching for synonyms, the thesaurus adamantly changes cremation to creation, which makes sense of this threshold. My heart wintered like the pale bark of an aspen. When is hope in the inky strokes of a misty sky, holding back tears? Air so raw and dark blots threatening rain, witnessing the work I am molding and this frozen circle saturated with longing. Other than a drop or two, all is contained like dish water in a plugged silver sink. At night, the waxen moon is my father's head poking through. Maybe mine. Blake was right. Everything is through, as in veil, if not veil. But this fog, my God, I am not through. Thank you.
Just taking a moment to gather myself, Mildred. That's all it is. What exquisite. Kim is shaking her head. That's always the best sign when Kim is shaking her head. Kim, you know, you knew. You knew. You knew. Well, first of all, I know I am in for a beautiful reading when in the very first poem, a trickster shows up in a poem. That's always the first sign that it's I'm I'm in a good place. I'm in a good place. The movement of where these poems travel and how you of course described it in these cycles, life, you know, death, and then what's beyond, and how that kind of spirals. I think of cycle and I also think of spiral, how we spiral through memory and how, we travel. We travel with someone when they are in their afterlife, that we are able to still travel with them, to get to that place where we know it is comfortable to feel that we are able to travel with them from that space. And of course, as poets, we're fortunate if we get to the place where we can write about traveling with them in that space. It's and and so beautifully done. And I say this as a person who has written a lot about my father, and he's since passed, and how to write about him since he's passed, and how to feel his presence, not be absence, even though it's a different realm that I inhabit with him, or I attempt to inhabit with him. And I feel those poems in Hands and Clay really embodied that very sacred path, that journey to that path. Just thank you so very much. Always a home here for your poems. Please come and bring more poems, share more poems with us. I'm just so moved by the reading. The book is Hands in Clay. Mildred K. Barya, beautiful. Beautiful debut here. Very, very grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, well, friends, as I said, today we are so fortunate to have folks who are debuting with us today, as well as I've got dear friends who share their poems with us with the frequency that they can, and we love it. I love all of it. I love all of it. And one of the joys, of course, is when a person's been on Cultivating Voices for time on Zoom here, and then you get to meet the person in person, which has happened for Marjorie and I, which was a dear joy in Madison, Connecticut last year. And now I just feel like, talk about cycles. I want to come back to Mildred, talk about cycles. I feel like the idea of that cycle of, oh yeah, we're going to meet in person again and again and again. We're not just going to always be in these squares. Um, and yet the squares bring me great joy, as well as knowing that you're out there, Marjorie. You're doing your work, you're writing your books, wrote that amazing book with your daughter that we were able to showcase here. You have this I was actually reading the Keystone anthology right before I left for AWP, an incredible anthology that I know that you've been traveling with and doing readings from. The Keystone State, in case you don't know, every state in the U.S. has a subname. What is the name for the name that is not the name of the state? I'm calling it a subname, but it has an alter ego. That's what I'm going to say. Every state has an alter ego. The alter ego of Pennsylvania is the Keystone State. Um, and so that's hence the title, the Keystone Anthology. And yeah, I love how you do create poetry community intimately and collectively, kind of wherever you go. And I saw it in person because I sat at a table with you and everybody just gravitated toward you and there was instant
They were
community.
gravitating towards you, Sandy.
No, it wasn't me, it was you. So, always a pleasure to have you on the program with a new book. And congratulations, and I'm gonna read your formal biography now because I'll eat up the whole clock just, talking about my joy that we're hanging out today here, hearing some poems from your new collection. Well, Marjorie Maddox, Poetry Moment host for WPSU FM. She's the assistant editor also of this beautiful journal, Presence, and professor emerita at Commonwealth University. Marjorie, didn't you love that idea, what Jeanne did? Like, write a whole book, like, just, I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my gosh. Anyway, let me get back. Marjorie Maddox has published 17 collections of poetry. Most recently, Hover Here, Seeing Things, Small Earthly Spaces, and a book that we showcased here with her daughter, In the Museum of My Daughter's Mind. I love that collection so much. Oh my gosh. Marjorie has also produced a story collection, 5 children's books, and the anthologies Commonwealth, Contemporary Poets on Pennsylvania, and Keystone Poetry. Her middle grade biography is A Man Named Branch, the true story of baseball's great experiment. Is there any stone left unturned of what you will not explore, Marjorie? Well, we're going to get a 15-minute taste of those things today. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And thanks for playing along with my wacky introduction.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and we're in that Connecticut anthology together.
Oh, that's right.
I have a
Yes.
Mercy by the Sea poem in there, so that was my connection to Connecticut. I'm just thrilled to be here today. Thank you so much for having me. And wow, poets, that was such a great reading, everybody. I don't know how I'm gonna follow Mildred. So that everybody was just amazing. So I'm gonna do a quick shout out to this book, Seeing Things. It has my daughter's painting on it. So I'm going to do 2 poems from here and then the rest from Hover Here. This is probably the hardest book that I've written. It's about 3 generations of women. So, daughter of a mother in the early stages of dementia, mother of a daughter struggling with depression, and then woman struggling with her own issues of abuse and survival in a world where truth and lie are very murky these days, right? And then I also, a nod to Mona, I guess, I also have a whole series of odes in the poem to kind of lighten things up a little bit. This first poem is about dementia, and it's called Dusk. It's a sonnet. The way the clouds hang low, it could be noon or late fall. She doesn't know the season or the time. In her mind, the days make room for meals, for bathroom trips, no reason to remember where, why. She knows someone will arrive to take her there, will prepare the necessary plans, will know the when of her leaving, the coat she'll need to wear to brace herself from cold. Perhaps it's snow that filters out the light. Perhaps it's dusk, the long chill drawing close. And yet she hopes it's spring, late day, the world's worries hushed as she slips now towards sleep. Always the gray darkens to night. She does not know the day. And another short poem from this collection, In the Company of Women. Always they are surprised by the boulder-sized heft of the hidden beneath the weight of her ordinary eyes that smoke signal they too will survive, give or take a decade or two, give or take the unrelenting midnight whys that unwind into others' lives, the discovery of lifting, rock by rock, pebble by pebble, what once was thrown as victim, but now, weight lifted together, becomes stone bridge, becomes path home. And I was glad to hear that Jeanne I guess we're pressmates because this book is from Broadstone Books. Um, Looks like this. And it's a book both about pausing and taking your time and observing, but there's also poems about urgency, particularly in connection to social and environmental crises. So the first poem is the last poem in the book, and it's an ekphrastic poem off of this cover. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's a milkweed that looks like a bird, and it's by my collaborator, Karen Elias, and her image is called Flight. Oh, I have it up here on the screen. Still life of milkweed or bird. Inside, once you were a wisp of flight, seeds weathered to air, a delicately tied fly flung across currents of stream far above the rippling dreams of trout. Or maybe a dragonfly escaped from a web, triumphant silk exploding into freedom, long before the now of all you gave away to become this empty, brittle surprise of beauty, brown husk of a wing tipped up, speckled bird reminder of chirp, of everything still willing to soar. I'm trying to make some thematic connections between the poems. So this is the first poem in the book. Well, there's kind of an epigraph poem and then this poem. I never knew there was a fly a kite day, but there is. And when I found out about it, it was June 15th, 2022, Fly a Kite Day. In the wind is the curl of her grandma's gray, is the twirl of her mother's spin, is the sway of the willows green, while no longer tethered, the girl swings into a sky papered with kites. See how the bright diamonds, both flimsy and strong, dip into dreams she shares with them, women she knew only as passing breeze. Still, she rises on their breath, hovers on their stories. It is the same air, and she is not the hand or the string, but with them a kaleidoscope of kites, high in the sky and soaring. I drafted most of this collection at a wonderful residency at Monson Arts in Maine. I would highly recommend it to folks. And I had a studio that you could walk out on the balcony and overlook the lake in the morning. Well, I did that kind of all day. I just sat out there and wrote. So one day there was just one little boat far away on the lake. Lone boat on the lake at dawn. Not still, but still a still point among two diving loons and one blackbird flecked with red and barely balancing atop the tallest pine this side of the lake. Even morning is relative, shadows undulating with waves slight as breath, amber almost out of reach, but ebbing closer. The way I hear you inside, stirring, deciding whether to rise and recognize off to the side of our vast bodies of deep and shallow waters, the one small lone boat, green maybe, or gray, floating a stranger whose face even now I cannot see, but who may be looking out at us, two different points of still before each of us cast our lines of sight, real in the morning that soon, in the limited minutes of beginnings, will be moving, moving, moving. And here's another sonnet, a prayer poem really about kind of simple tasks that we do. Making the bed. Because my friends have died, will die, I praise these clean white sheets that smell of nothing dead. They're taking off or putting on the rise of cotton hope, so small I discard dread 10 seconds more. No seashore near these waves of air, I dream a faithful raft of sleep, to float my loves on prayer past fear or pain, to sail away my well-worn doubt, to breathe again a peace that's daily lost, but found a minute here or there in what is cleansed, returned for weekly ritual, profound simplicity of pause. Because my friends are gone, I breathe in now the billowed sheets, the only silent prayer I dare to speak. When I was 15, I had my first real job, and it was working as a maid at a Days Inn. I got a ride with a neighbor who was also working there, and it was quite the experience. um, years later, I think after I even had my kids, I got a letter saying I guess there had been a lawsuit and they had been cheating all the maids out of just a few cents each hour when we check out. So I got like a check for like $63 and some cents, for all those hours I had worked there. So this is 1974, making the bed at the Days Inn. 15 and one serious corner tucker frame duster every inch of the toilet scrubber. I rose at 6 a.m. and hitched a ride with my older neighbor, just 16 and steering her family wagon to the rear parking lot of Days Inn, where we'd enter the employees only back door and join for coffee the other cart pushers and apron wearers, all clocking in for a back-bending, vacuum brooming morning of We the Maids of Chain Motel USA. 48 beds to strip and change with only rumors of those who stretched the used cotton into pretend compliance and skipped the deep clean routine for bathroom counters and corners. Now I check. Long before the 90s and Go Green, postcards offered the naked wrapped in clean towels or rolling out of stained sheets the choice to make a difference. Naive, my neighbor and I just scooped up and piled in bags the dirty and discarded, obeying at all costs do not disturb signs, except once walking in on what no one should see at 15. Learning to time our bed making to Family Feud or The Price is Right, blaring entertainment into our boredom, we'd leave for last the hardest dirt-caked tubs, turn up the volume of the match game. Sometimes we'd open doors to broken bottles, overflowing toilets, cigarette stubs lined up on dressers, and, annoyed at the aftermath of parties, stash our $2 tips and bras. We'd accept half nods in the hallway, outright stares, under the breath comments, or no recognition at all. As teens in the 70s, we were only motel maids. 10 years later, I thought of little of who I was back then, shocked to hear of Linda, my almost forgotten neighbor, out of college, married, diagnosed with leukemia, suddenly quitting the day-to-day of living, stripping clean what she couldn't take anymore. A decade later, I remembered again only when some lawyer wrote how each day we were cheated out of pennies. Faulty clocks, or managers rounding down the time we scrubbed and emptied, bent and tucked. Please accept the motel's apology and find enclosed a check for $62.88. The Chris stationery, proclaiming no sense of timing or justice for all the laundered years. These days, I never make my bed, the tangled remaining as it is. And another short little ode. For the pebble, the worm, the clothesline, the warm bread, the simple turn of head that says, I heard you. The burr that lets go on its own, the bluebird that returns to perch where the dogwood blossoms glow, the dim light outside, the bright light within, the low hum of hope when the unseen grows deep in the hole you've dug in dry dirt on an ordinary afternoon, just this side of Eden's repeated hallelujahs. And then I'm going to read one more poem, and then I'm just going to do a shout out without reading anything from another book. As you'll remember, Tyree Nichols on January 7th, 2023 was murdered. He was fatally injured by Black police officers in Memphis, Tennessee, and then he died 3 days later. Another sonnet. Memphis. With cameras on, they aim their fists. He screams, "What reason?" He pleads. The armed men explain nothing. They are the law. Their actions need no meaning, no spoken explanation of the rage that beats and pounds. The others stand in silence, or worse, look down, chit-chat about the latest game. He calls mother. Someone props him up, snaps a pic. Like that, a man becomes a corpse. 3 days he's dead, no rising from the blood. The ones who swore to guard and serve, just murderers instead. They claimed he fled. The watching cameras bore another story. Even so, the men cite innocence. And here we are again. And then I just wanted to show, this is my new kind of poetic narrative by chatty biography. I think it was Jeanne mentioned baseball. So my great grand uncle was Branch Rickey. This is called A Man Named Branch, the true story of baseball's great experiment. Branch Rickey was the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers, who helped break the color barrier by signing Jackie Robinson. So it's been a lot of fun. This is kind of geared towards preteens, teens, and adults, but I've been going around reading from this as well. So thank you very much for listening and for having me today.
Thank you so much, Marjorie. Marjorie, do you know that in Connecticut there is, which by the way is the Nutmeg State,
Yes.
which is the name of that anthology that we're both in, which I only just got as I came back from AWP actually. That there is
Oh, Poetry and Baseball
a
Festival.
poetry and
Yes.
baseball.
Yes, I
Like,
can't go this year, but I'd like to try sometime.
so I should put you in touch with, there's a poet that I'm very good friends with. She infrequently comes to Cultivating Voices. Anyway, let's talk about that. But let me get
Okay.
back to, your poetry, of course. Here is what, after 17 books of poetry, I mean, I can't imagine writing 7 books of poetry, let alone,
Yeah, some of them are short, you know.
well, I don't care. I don't, let alone, I'm trying to work on the 4th book. I mean, oh my gosh. But also then the range of everything else that you do. But, but what I love about the poems themselves, and this is what I really want to emphasize for the audience today, is that you have a facility, you lack fear of writing about anything. This is my perception of you. So we can write about, love it, fly a kite day. Kim, fly a kite day. We're gonna have a kite reading on Fly a Kite Day one year when it lands the right way. I love it. I love it. I love it. Um, the days in, I mean, to be able to, to write about work in that way that has the span of like many of, decades, to be able to link all those things that happened when you were a chambermaid to when you get that check in the mail, and be able to stitch that whole story together, and then to move, to the sonnet, like the Tyree sonnet. Just extraordinary to also work with form. And I want to really emphasize for folks that a poem can truly come from anywhere. Okay, I'm sitting here in my college professor's room that I'm staying in. Could write a poem about this ruler. I do not know this ruler's story at all, but I just plucked it out of a jar. You might have a ruler. Who knows what the story of the ruler is? But there could be a poem in a ruler. I mean, And I love that that's what you do. You turn the everyday. You are unabashedly unafraid to take the everyday, see what is happening in the everyday, and really transform it into a poem that could be sacred, profane, or anything in between. And what that just really tells me is that you are comfortable with poetry. You are comfortable. There is, I'm not saying it's easy for you to write a poem, but I'm saying there's ease with which you lean into poetry. You trust poetry to say what it needs to say, and you do it. And I just really admire that. I really truly admire that. So thank you so much.
Thank you
Well,
so much.
speak about admiring. There's a lot of admiration to go around today. Marjorie, Mildred, Barya debut here on Cultivating Voices. J.Griggs, college campus. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. I cannot get over that. And of course, Mona with her debut collection. What a beautiful, again, beautiful constellation today. Our four poets. Friends, would you please unmute and show your, I love the word unabashed, unabashed appreciation for today's poets and their beautiful display of poetry.
Bravo,
Thank you.
bravo.
Oh,
Huzzah! Huzzah!
Yay.
there you go. There it is. There it is,
Indeed.
friends.
Woo! Bravo!
Woo. Well, gotta give the props to Kim for putting this one together. Great job. And because we're just slightly over time, I just want to say that I want to ask Kim to come on and tell us what's going to happen our next reading, which is in a couple weeks.
Sure, I was just gonna type it in, but I'll say it. So we have a two Sunday break because we have 5 Sundays in March. So that's a little odd, but starting again at the first Sunday of April, Poets Focus for April, we will be inviting our dear poetry brother, Edward O'Dwyer from Limerick, Ireland. His most recent book is called Rejection Letters, and we were inspired to ask him to be a feature to read a few pieces from that and from his other poems, which are epistles or like epistles or in some way related to letter writing or direct address. So epistle is our focus word. This is a writing focus word this time. So you guys, you have 2 weeks. Use it as a prompt. Go find a poem that you want to share. Maybe it is an epistle. Maybe it is talking about letters. Be inspired and bring your poem for our Poets Focus the first Sunday in April. And after that, Sandy and I and many others will be in Ireland celebrating the launch of the Titanic anthology. Why don't you tell them about that, Sandy?
Well, just we're going to be on 8 city tour for about 3 weeks. And again, yeah, many contributors from Cultivating Voices are in the anthology. We're very much looking forward to our launch, our online launch market, April 12th here on Cultivating Voices Live Poetry. On the 12th, we'll be joining you from, I'll be joining you from Cove. Kim may be elsewhere in Ireland, but will be with us. So two locations in Ireland, and Edward O'Dwyer is the reason that I am sitting here. So you can either thank him or blame him when he is online next time with us. Thank him or blame him for for this yes, for me being present in front of you on Sundays. And we're so excited. I love the idea, I'm thinking back to Jeanne too, like epistle, hey, postcard poems, postcard kind of epistle too. Like we could do, letter, postcard. I love it. Be creative. We're looking forward to being with you in April, which here in the States and also in other countries, including Ireland, although every day is Poetry Day in Ireland, but it is Poetry Month in Ireland in April as well. So we hope you will join us in 2 weeks back here kicking off Poetry Month here on Cultivating Voices Live Poetry. And in the meantime, friends, just keep leaning in, keep finding the amazing from the mundane. I mean, the ruler slashes. There's a story in every slash on that ruler, I'm sure. Keep finding the amazing from the mundane or the everyday. And with that, I'll just say, take very good care of yourselves these upcoming 2 weeks. Take extraordinary care of your beloveds. And just keep writing your miraculous poems from wherever they divine. Thank you to Don Krieger, Kim Ports Parsons for the program, and thank you again to our 4 readers, our 4 featured readers today. Another round of applause. Of course, Mona Zamfirescu, J.Griggs, Mildred Cave Barya, and Marjorie Maddox. And with that, I will bid you all a very fond farewell, and we will see you. How did we get to April? I'm looking forward to it. Keep writing, my friends, and take good care.